I like trains. You like trains. Everyone likes trains. So, let us learn the history of the train. Yes, this is a trains channel now. I don't make the rules. What do you mean you were here for geology? That doesn't matter. Trains! The first steam engine designed to power a wheel was invented by Scottish engineer James Watt in 1769, but like prior steam engine designs, it was stationary and could only be used in factories and mills. This is because boilers at the time had to work in low pressure and incorporate a separate condenser, meaning that they were too big to move. But, of course, over time, Watt was able to develop smaller and smaller engines as boiler technology improved.
Hang on, you're just paraphrasing Wikipedia here. You're not interested in train history at all, are you?
In 1748, his employee, William Murdoch, no relation to Matt Murdoch, created the first working model of a hypothetical steam locomotive. That said, it wasn't until 1804 when Cornish engineer Richard Trevithick was able to build the first fully working steam locomotive for use on a railway. The Trevithick engine used high-pressure steam to drive the one-stroke engine, using a large flywheel to even out the action of a big old piston. And this engine completed the first steam train journey ever on the 2nd of February 1804 along the trackway of the Penydarren Ironworks. Sadly, this design was too heavy for the kind of mining and transport tracks widely in use in England at the time, but it set a stage for grander and grander things to come. And many design improvements, all of which culminated in the first passenger train, the Locomotion No. 1, built by engineering firm Robert Stephenson and Company in 1825, having been designed by its founder, Robert Stephenson, and his father, George Stephenson, who was also an iconic part of the history of the train, as he designed and built the first intercity railways in the world. Of course, trains, and we all like trains, had to be modified over the following decades to make them the perfect blow-high transporting devices. Their public transport usage is good and all, but have you ever lived in a city where there are train tracks, but you can't just get on a train and go to the next town over because they only have commercial rail and not passenger rail in your city? That's what so much of southern New Zealand is like. Why? Because New Zealand Rail is about as far away as you can get from Sweden, and Sweden is the mothership from which all blow-high breeding grounds, or IKEAs, originate. In the southern South Island, millions of blahages simply booked up all of the trains for the next several centuries in order to comb the countryside for IKEAs and find eggs. But why would blahage go looking for eggs? What is blahage? What are eggs? What even is this video? The answer to all of these questions and none will not be answered. Blahouge first appeared in the fossil record around 28 million years ago and are the fluffier, happier cousins of Megalodon. Some people believe that the reason Megalodon went extinct was because they were so completely sick of blahages trying to give them hugs all of the time when they patrolled the oceans for food, so they simply decided to die rather than constantly be hugged by blahages. Blowhigh were ocean-bound for most of their geological history, but started creating IKEAs on land after the evolution of humans in 1943, when they realized that there were far too many huggable eggs on land. Eggs. In the seminal mid-2000s documentary series The Secret Show, humanity finally understood what happened when a clown took over the world. Every agency on the planet had tried to cover up what he did when he sold the world to the floaty-headed aliens for a chocolate egg. The joke of this video is redacted. What do you believe should be redacted from society in your view? I would choose to redact the fact that I like trains.
Help! I don't actually like trains! Help! Help!
But trains are, of course, vastly superior to planes. Planes were, of course, invented by Orville and Wilbur Wright in what was arguably the most incomprehensible thing that an albatross could invent, since, of course, they already had wings and could fly. Wings have evolved at least 5, possibly 6 separate times in the animal kingdom, and are of particular interest to paleontologists, because of how tasty they are with buffalo sauce. Buffalo sauce is, of course, named after Buffalo, New York, and not the animal blowhigh. Blowhigh once wandered the North American prairies in massive herds before being hunted to near extinction by humans, who, rather than eat them, took them home to hug them. Do you love your blahage? Then give it to a train so that your trains can trains your rejected. Why are blowhigh the only sharks that live on land? For a long time, scientists hypothesized that it was because they were afraid of the red megalodons. But world-renowned paleontologists, and definitely not pseudoscientists, Roger Spurr and David Peters published a paper in 2019 in the journal Nature on the magnetic power of eggs, which the shark's electroreceptors were finally attuned to pick up on. The next time you are eating an egg, think about blowhigh. Think about how sad that makes them, and then go and take your blahage and become its egg, and hug it. This video is about trains. Trainsylvania. Remember when I made my video about Balaur Bondoc? What if I told you that the legendary paleontologist Randolph Kirkpatrick was recently found alive, frozen in ice, and that he had found evidence that Balaur Bondoc was actually a giant nummulite wearing a feather hat all along? Transylvania was of course named in honor of trains, because the fossils of giant nummulites wearing feather hats had liked to ride on trains every day.
Help! Help me! Help! Help!
On this Trainsylvanian train there is a food cart, where you can buy Big Macs. Big Macs did not manage to make an appearance in Prehistoric Planet because they had not yet been discovered. Big Mac is Zintombagoo for new kid.
Help! Help! They're coming! I need to get out of here now!
Hello everyone! In today's episode we're going to be talking about ostracods. Ostracods are a cool group of tiny crustaceans with distinctive twin-valved, bean-shaped shells, in which a little shrimp-like animal lives. They live in salt and freshwater habitats, and are very abundant in all of these habitats worldwide, and have a wide variety of feeding strategies and diets. Their fossil record extends all the way back to the Ordovician, and they're still alive now in the present day. Ostracods are famous for the fact that males have disproportionately huge testicles, often around 1/3 the length of their entire body. The testicles of a male ostracod are so huge that their own shell bulges around them, and thus you can often tell if your ostracod is a male or a female very easily.
Help! Help me!
Did you know that ostracod penises are often so disproportionately large that they have a tendency to get named after these organs? For example, check out Calimbosathon eplecticos, which has the oldest known penis of any organism in the fossil record. The penis of this animal is 1/5 the length of its entire body, and its name literally means great swimmer with large penis. That said, many ostracod species are entirely female and reproduce by cloning themselves. Now, you might find ostracods very interesting, and I know that I do, and think, these chickens are up to something.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
And yes, you're right. Scientists from Mud Fossil University believe that ostracods are the miniaturized descendants of... Please, run! Run! Save yourself! It's too late for me here! The planet, of course, will be able to handle whatever dastardly plans the ostracods have in store for us, because...
Stop! No!
Potassium infinionite is the power source that ostracods have been theorized to use for... trains. 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 I like trains. Help, help, help. The secret meaning behind this video is being eaten by an ostracod. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to make so long to get 65. Please no funny reviews. Please, please stop Mr. YouTube algorithm. And that is why there are 4 wings on Microraptor. President Koczynski will see you now. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of horses. I swear. I'm afraid, dear viewer, that it simply isn't safe here for me to keep broadcasting. Please get to your local trains and hide among the blahage for protection.